nights not eating,
我
not
是
sleeping.
非常喜欢赌博的一个人，
Because I really love to
而且我
gamble.
我不敢说必赌你没赌必赢啊，我不敢说，但是我只赌很近啊。
However, I always gamble very well.
但是我知道赌不好的，
But I know that gambling is bad.
但是这个没有办法把它脱掉。
But it was impossible to be free from that
我
bondage.
知道撒谎不好的，
I know that lying
我
is
知道
bad.
欺骗不好的，
I know that cheating is bad.
我知道这个对人家做那些不应该做的事不应该的。
And I know it is wrong to do all the sinful
我
things.
明明知道不应该，但是我没有办法来摆脱这些事
I know
情，
that I should not be doing these things, and yet I cannot be free of them
被捆绑，
because I was bound.
被捆绑。
I was
但
enslaved.
是感谢
But I
神，
thank God.
是我信主那一天，
But from the day that I came to faith,
我来到圣殿前面，
I came before the altar.
我那个时候年纪很轻，
At that time, I was young,
我哭了，
and I cried.
我真是大哭。
And I truly cried.
我说主
I
啊，
said, Lord,
没有一个人释放我，
no one can set me free.
没有一个人让我自由。
No one can deliver me.
我今天在你面前认罪悔改，
And before you, I admit to my
虽
sin.
然我要戒，没办法戒掉，
Although I wanted to stop, I couldn't.
但是我求你来帮助我，
But I ask you to help me
能够脱离这一些的鬼
to get rid of all these demons.
那个赌鬼啦。
the gambling
吃
demon,
鬼啦，
the sex demon,
烟鬼啦，
the cigarette
这个鬼啦，
this
那个鬼，
demon,
那个鬼
that
啦，
demon, all
这
the
个是
demons.
一样。但是很感谢主，
But thank God.
当我真正那一天晚上，我悔改认罪的时候，
That night when I admitted to my
把
sins,
我的锁链又把它解除。
God set free and
我
broke
自由
away.
了。
I was free.
弟兄姐妹们，我不晓得有没有告诉你们说，我在14岁的时候，
I don't know whether I've told you this, but when I was 14,
有多少人？我在14岁，你们还没生。
when I was 14, many of you were not born yet.
那是差不多66年以前，
About 66 years ago.
68年前，67年。
67 years ago.
47
啊
47
67
啊，对对对。
67.
那个时候我们在上海，
At that time, I was in Shanghai.
你知道上海是被日本人所占。
And Shanghai at that time was held captive by the Japanese army.
虽然我是生在日本，但是我不是日本人啊。
Although I was born in Japan, I was not
所以
Japanese.
你可以看见，在上海的时候，日本人在那里完全统治上海。
And at that time, the Japanese army controlled Shanghai.
我们每一个人，凡是在上海的人，我们都是战战兢兢，非常的惧怕，不知道明天会发生什么
And all the Shanghainese living in the city are all afraid of the Japanese army and don't know what will happen tomorrow.
我告诉你，过一个非常痛苦、黑暗、那个恐惧的、那个胆怯的生活。
We led a very fearful, dark, and risky life.
但是好感谢
But we thank God.
好像做梦的人一样。
Just like those who dream.
忽然之间，在1945年8月份，忽然之间，这个管理方变好了。
All of a sudden, in 1945, in August, the streets of Shanghai was actually lighting up with
因为我只有
firecrackers.
14岁的那
At
个
that
时
time,
候，
I was 14.
不晓得发生什么事
And I
情。
was wondering what's happening.
原来这个日本人就宣布无条件投降。
It turned out that the Japanese army has unconditionally
从那
surrendered.
个时候开始，我们自由了。
From that day on, we were all
你
free.
说对不对呢？
Do
我
you
们过了
know?
这外国大桥的时候，我们不要像买票的人，不要像那个日本宪兵说哦那个伊达西马死，然后日本人说要死啊，这才能做到，不要死要死啊。
Now, as we cross the bridges in Shanghai, we don't have to seek the permission of the Japanese
亲
army.
爱的弟兄姐妹，在座的我不知道有多少人你是被罪恶所困的，
And I wonder how many of us here are actually bound by sin.
你没有喜乐。
You don't have the joy.
你是被撒旦魔鬼用罪把你捆绑起来，你知道这个不对了，你知道这个不好了，你知道这个不应该的，你知道他得罪上帝了，但是你没有办法挣脱这些
Satan has you bound in his chains, you know that it is wrong to do those things, but you cannot be free of the bondage.
你可以看见到圣经告诉我们说，当耶和华把这个被掳的归回的时候，哇呀，我们充满了，好像做梦的灵一样，我们充满了喜。
That is why verse 1 says that when the Lord brought the captives of Zion back, that we were as though in a dream.
第二件事情，
Secondly,
第一是自由的喜乐。
here the first minor point is that there is a joy and freedom.
你看看他给我翻译的好不好 ？minor point， 不是 major point 啊！因为我前2个礼拜就是在某堂讲这篇信息，这是他给我翻的。
I've actually shared this in the mother church.
那第二件事情，
The second minor point.
亲爱的弟兄姐妹，请你好好的注意这几个字，我也让你们看啊。
Please pay attention to this.
他说：“当耶和华将那些被掳的带回什么地方？什么地方？西安的时候，
It says, the captive ones of Zion.
我们好像做梦的
We
一
were
样。
as though in a dream.
然后我们满口喜笑，满舌欢呼的时候，外邦人就这样说：耶和华为他们喜乐大事。
Then when our mouths were filled with laughter, our tongues with joyful shouting, then they said among the nations, the Lord has done great things for them.
第二件事情，那是什么？那是回家的喜乐。
The second minor point is that there is a joy of coming home.
上礼拜天，
Last Sunday,
我跟我妹妹，因为我妹妹去好像看牙齿去。
my wife went to see a dentist,
那么我一个人在mall走路，
and I alone was walking in a mall.
那是在 Oak Ridge
In the Oak Ridge Mall.
我没有去拜访你去啊，请妈妈没有到那儿去。我在那走路的时候，
And as I was walking in the mall,
忽然之间有一个姐妹就对我说
all of a sudden a sister：“ said
她说
to
兄
me,
弟，
says, Pastor
我
Son,
几乎不可能识。”
and I was puzzled that she knows me.
后来我忽然想起她姓唐，
Then I remember that she is actually a sister
我
Tom.
说你们都好吗？
Then I asked, how are you?
她说不好，
They're no good.
为什么呢？
Why is it?
她说我们家里面的隔壁被火烧了。
She said that our neighbor had a fire.
你们记得不记得我们母堂有个弹琴的、司琴的一个也指挥的一个姐妹，她也是在这里头。
Actually, this is called Cecilia Chen. Cecilia Chen used to, and anyway, she also lives there.
那么这保险公司就告诉他们说，你们现在不能到家里面去，为什么？虽然你们家里都没有被烧，没被火焚烧，但是也不能进去，因为我要把它打洗一下子。
Because of the fire in the condominium complex, many of the neighboring residents are not allowed to go back.
就把他们放在5星级的旅馆，
And they put them in the 5-star hotels.
好不好？这个
Isn't
不
it
是
good?
我
Isn't it great?
1天好可以啊，
For 1 day it's okay.
2天可以
For
啊。
2 days it's okay.
他说我碰到他的时候啊，他说是不是我要想家了，回家了？
But then this sister said, I want to go home.
我说你现在住旅馆不是很好吗？
Isn't it great to stay in a hotel?
他说还是家好。
It is still better to be
让
at
弟
home.
兄姐妹，你会看到每一个人都想回家。
Everybody wants to go home.
我们不是说吗？金窝银窝不如什么？你们怎么不知道？你们都是狗窝嘛？
No matter how feeble or how dilapidated it is
弟
still.
兄姐妹们，这个家还是带给我们温暖，
Because a home will have the warmth.
家给我们带来安
It
全，
will give you a sense of security.
家带给我们和谐
And。a home will give you
哎
peace
呀，
and
到了
reconciliation.
家里以后，什么重担都放下。
And when you go home, you put down all your
也
burdens.
记得他们从巴比伦回来，回到哪里？那是回到西安，
They traveled from Babylon back home to Zion
回家喽！
to come home.
弟兄姐妹们，回家多快乐！
To come home, how joyful it is.
你记得不记得有一个人，
Do you remember a man?
他有个哥哥，有个爸爸，
He had an older brother and a father.
妈妈有没有我们不晓得，当然有的了，不晓得在哪
But we
里。
don't know whether the mother was still alive then or not.
那么他就离开家，
He left home.
离开家以后，把父亲所给他的财产都用了。
And he took his portion of the inheritance and he spent it.
到最后，他 都寂寞了，没有人用它，他就在那给人家看猪啊。
And
看
finally,
猪到一个程度，肚子饿了，把的猪的这个豆荚拿来要吃，要报食啊。
and eventually he was completely depleted of his finances. He had to look after the pigs, and he wanted to eat the pigs' food.
就是在那最困难的时候，
And at that time,
最饥饿的时候，
when he was so hungry,
忽然之间
all of a sudden
他就想到家，
he thought about home.
他就讲了一句话。
Then he said something.
他说：“我父亲家里有粮，
In my father's house there's food.
我父亲的家里有很多的工人，
In my father's house there are many
我
servants.
却流浪在这个地方，想要吃猪的豆荚来喂饱自
And
己。
now I'm here suffering from hunger, wanting to eat the food of the pigs.
圣经告诉我们说，后来他醒过来，
Then all of a sudden he awoke,
当他回来的时候，
and when he came back,
哦，他的父亲远远的在那里看着
the
他。
father was watching for his return.
你要知道，这个自从这个儿子离开父亲的家以后，父亲我敢相信他每天在那里等。
And I'm sure that since the day that this son has left home, the
Amen.
father would be waiting for the return.
在那里呼喊：“儿啊，回来吧
He！would be calling out, son, come home,
回来
come
吧！”
home.
他每天在那里等。
And he would be waiting.
为什么你知道他父亲在那里等呢
Do？you know why is the father waiting?
因为圣经告诉我们，远远的这个儿子，那个是这个一路不看的就回来了，回了父亲远远的看见就跑过去了。为什么远远的看见？他每天在看。
Because the Bible says that when the son was still far away, the father saw the son and immediately ran out to welcome him.
他跑过去了，这个老人家
him.
80岁跟我一样的
And at that time, the father was about 80 years
连
old.
80岁跑路不大好跑啊。
And at 80, it's not easy to
像
run.
青年人2、3公斤把身的老现在老这个跑。
For an 80-year-old man to run is not easy.
要看见他的儿子啊，
Because he saw his son.
圣经说把他抱起来，连连与他亲着腰。
And the Bible says that he actually kissed his son.
如果我是爸爸，
If I were father,
让你回来了，
I'd say, you come back now.
哦，你回来了，
You're back now.
赶快洗一洗。
You go and take a bath.
因为他太臭了嘛。
Because he stinks.
啊，你会看见这个呼吸没刮了，你得要洗一洗，然后再给你亲嘴啊。
And he will say, okay, why don't you go take a bath first, wash your face before I'll
你
do
可以
it.
看见父亲何等渴望他的儿子回家，
Father was longing for the return of
当
the
这个
son.
儿子回家的
And
时
when the
候，
son returned,
圣经告诉我们说，他们家里就欢喜快
the
乐。
Bible says that the household rejoiced.
亲爱的弟兄姐
Dear
妹，
brothers and sisters,
回家
returning home.
不就是为了自己的家，
Not only to return to your home,
回到西安。
to return to Zion.
西安是指着上帝的家，上帝的家。
Zion means God's
亲爱的
home.
弟兄姐妹，他有多久没有进到上帝的殿
It's
里？
been so long since the Jews have gone to God's house.
现在能够进到上帝的
And
山，
now they can go on to God's mountain.
你想他们何等的喜乐？
Would they not be joyful?
你们很多从大陆来的，
Many of you come from mainland China.
我也从大陆来的，
I actually came from mainland
我不
China.
过比你们早离开上海。
Except that I left Shanghai early.
你知道，我是在1970年以后，
I came over
那不是1970年以后，
after 1970
像尼克森到了中国。
when Nixon went to China.
然后这个大陆的门就渐渐开了。
Then the door in mainland China
听
opened.
到，
Listen,
不仅是大陆的门开了，
not only did the door open up,
在中国有几间大的教会，他们的门也开了。
the doors of a few larger churches opened as well.
按我所知啊，
Based on what I know,
这个门刚刚开的时候，很多的成千上万的人涌进到上帝的家。
when the church doors opened, thousands upon thousands entered.
8点钟聚会，
Let's say the service starts at 8 o'clock.
他们5、6点钟就开始排队了。
People will line up at 5 o'clock.
他们做礼拜天8点